Hello everyone, I am Nitij, and in today's session we are going to explore how to set up a working CI/CD pipeline using GitHub Actions for a React application with Firebase functions in the backend. This is especially useful for those looking to automate their build and deployment processes. So in modern software development, automating your build and deployment process is very much essential. It not only saves time but also helps in maintaining consistency across your environments. We are focusing on GitHub Actions today, a tool that automates these workflows, making our life a bit easier when working with React and Firebase. So you want to ensure that every code change is automatically tested and deployed in your repository. Then this is where GitHub Actions come in. They automate your build and deploy process so you don't have to manually handle these tasks each time. So first, let me give you an overview of what are the different items we will be using. The first one is a repository in GitHub. So in my GitHub account, this is the repository for which I want to set up the automatic build and deployment for every code push. So in this repository, I will be going to add a workflow file, but before that, let me also show you the Firebase project. Now, there is not much in this project apart from the fact that the functions are already set up, and with our automated build and deployment, we will be deploying the React's front-end code to the hosting and the functions to the Firebase functions. Now let's take a look at the project setup. This is the React plus Firebase project that we will be using. So I'm not going to cover the project setup because the video focuses on just creating the CI/CD pipeline using workflows and not to how to set up the project. If you want me to do this, then I may do that in a separate video. Now let's see what is already there in terms of React component and Firebase function. So we have a default component which is simply calling a Firebase function, and the message which is returned is displayed on the screen so that we will know that our deployment is successful. Okay, so let's get started with creating our workflow file. For that, the first thing I will do is I will create a new folder with the name .github. Now inside this folder, I will create another folder with the name workflows. The name of the workflow file that I will be using is going to be Firebase deploy.yaml. Now let's get started adding all the steps that we need to build and deploy this project. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is to define a name for our build and deploy process. So let's just call it as deploy to Firebase functions and hosting. Next, we need to define the trigger when this is going to get triggered. So the trigger is going to be when we will push the code to our repository. So for that, I'm just going to write on push branches, and the name of the branch is main. Now we are going to provide the jobs. So the job is going to be the build and deploy job. Hold on, deploy, and we have to define the runner. So for that, I am going to write runs on. The runner that we will be using is the Ubuntu runner, so Ubuntu latest. And let's also add a colon over here. Now it's time to write all the steps. So the first step is going to be to check out the repository. So let's do that. Name and then check out the repo. So check out repo on. For that, I'm going to write the what action it needs to use. So for users, I'm going to write actions and then checkout @v2. The next step is to set up Node.js. So for that, let's first write the name. So set up node.js, and for the actions that it is going to use, I'm going to write actions and then set up node @v2. But we also need to specify which node version it needs to install. So for that, let's write with and then the node version, which is going to be 20. Alright, next we need to install the dependencies which are defined in our package.json file in our project. So the name is going to be install dependencies, and for this we need to write run, because we are going to run the command npm install. Let me just scroll up. Okay, so after this we need to install the Firebase CLI as well, because that is what we will be using to deploy to the Firebase hosting and functions. So for that I am going to write name is going to be install Firebase CLI, and for the command let's write npm install -g Firebase tools. Alright, next step is the build step, where we will be building our React front end by setting the environment variables. So let's write the name is going to be build, and for the command I am just first going to write ci equals to, okay, hold on, ci equals to false and npm run build. There's a typo over here, false. Okay, so the ci equals to false part ensures that the build does not fail when there are any warnings in the project, and the npm run build is the standard command to build the application as specified in the package.json file. Now we need to add the environment variables that this project uses. This project uses a bunch of different environment variables which helps it or enables it to connect with the backend Firebase implementation or integration. So these are all the values for the variables that we need to set. Now the way to use these environment variables in the workflow file is to first add them to the environment variables section in our GitHub repos setting. This will make sure that we will be able to access the values for all of these environment variables from the variables context. So these are all the keys and values which I have already added. Now if you want to add a new variable, then you will just have to click on this new repository variable, provide its name and value, and then click on add variable. Because I have already done that, we don't need to do that again, so we will be saving some time. Now let's get back to our workflow file. We need to add the environment variables or specify the environment variables before we run the build command. So to add the variables, first we have to write env colon and then copy the name of the variable that we have added to our GitHub settings. Now to fetch the value, I'm just going to write the vars context name, and because we have been using the same name which is defined in our env file, I can just copy and paste from over here. So let me just do that. Okay, so I have added all the environment variables. Now the next step in our build and deploy job is to deploy to Firebase hosting and functions, and for that I am going to I'm going to write name as deploy to hosting and functions, and the command which we will be using is Firebase deploy. We have to specify what we want to deploy, and for that I'm going to use the only argument, so only hosting and functions. Now we also need to provide a token, the Firebase secret token that it will be using to authenticate with Firebase and then to deploy the hosting and functions. So the Firebase token is a secret value, and we can add secrets again in our repositories settings. So you can access the secrets from secrets and variables and then actions. Over here in repository secrets, I have added the Firebase token. Now you can generate your own token by simply running Firebase login CI in your terminal. So let me show you how this can be done. Although I will not be showing you my secret, but I will tell you how you can do that. You will just have to write Firebase and then login and then CI. This will give you a secret which you can then use across your workflows to authenticate and authorize with your Firebase project. So because I have already created a secret in my repository, so I'm just going to add it. So after token, I'm going to write secrets dot firebase underscore token. All right, let me press Alt plus Z so that you can see everything all together. After this, we have to provide another argument for the project environment that we need to use. Now there can be different environments set up for our project. There could be dev environment, there could be staging, QA, production, etc. So I will be using the dev environment, and I will show you how we can specify these environments in our project settings. But before that, let me add another argument, which is force. So force is useful when we want to forcefully do some actions because of which the deployment process can be aborted. For example, if the Firebase deploy command needs to delete any already deployed functions which are not used anymore, so this cannot happen automatically. We have to write the force argument over here like this. Now let me show you how we can define the different environments. So this can be done in okay, hold on. Yep, over here in the firebase src file. So we can define the different projects. The default one is this one. We can define the dev, prod, staging, QA, whatever environments you are going to need, and all of these environments will point to a separate Firebase application. So I mean, you cannot have different environments in a single application because each environment can have different billings. They can have different configuration settings, different rules. Because of that, we can specify different environments like this. Now let's get back to our YAML file, and I think we have done everything that we need to do for our automated deployments. Now let me just save it, and I am just going to push this YAML file into GitHub. Let's first stage this file, and I am going to write YAML initial push. Click on commit. Now I am going to sync changes with our repo. So after this is done, let's now check in GitHub if our automated build is now kicked in. For that, let's go to actions first. So over here, you can see the workflow run has already started. So the name is going to be our commit message. Let's click on it and see what is going on over here. The build and deploy job is running. These are all the steps. So the steps which have been completed, let me just zoom in. The steps which have been completed, they will show a tick mark. The ones which are underway, they will show this kind of progress. Now, hopefully when all of these steps are done, then our hosting and functions will be deployed to Firebase, and then we will test the component and the function code which is already there in our project. If there is any error, then it will be displayed over here and the step will be aborted. So it has already come to the deploy to hosting and functions step, and it looks like that this workflow file is working. Yep, it is working perfectly. Now the only way to verify that is to test our application, and it has already specified the hosting URL which we can open up in a browser to test our implementation. So you can see that initial message is shown, but then the function message or the message which is returned from the Firebase function is printed, and it immediately replaces the initial message. And let me show you this logic as well if you're wondering how this is working. So in our React component, we have the initial message state variable with this value initial message, and when we will get the message from the function, then the set message function will overwrite this state variable's value. The Firebase function is over here, which is this my function, It is simply returning this message which with the value, this message is from function welcome to Code Radiance. And this is it for today's tutorial, guys. I hope this session helps you streamline your deployment processes and brings more efficiency to your workflow. If you found this tutorial helpful, then please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Feel free to drop any questions or feedback in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.